Okay, so I've shared some statues on the group. Sorry, you said something, Janita?
There's some problem with my audio, but I'll just see what is happening.
Yes. Acha, okay, okay. So today we will look at these statues. Now I've only like picked up a few of these. Not if you go to Pinterest and look for topics. Is someone saying something? Neeta saying something? Okay, maybe not, maybe not. Okay. So I've got a few statues here which are popular statues. Now, for example, Statue of Liberty. Then there's the from Easter Island. These guys are the Dum-Dums? I forget. But statues are everywhere. So if you go into Asian, Southeast Asian sites, you will find statues of in a different style altogether, faces and people, and yet they are captured differently. So it's very, very pretty. But most importantly, we have to see what is it that we capture in a statue. A statue, like a human face, okay, or human body, has parts that are not in the same plane, right? So when they are not in the same plane, you are going to have light and dark regions. Naturally, it comes in naturally, just like a human face. When we do portraiture, we realize that there are shadows where the eye socket comes in. There is a shadow where under the nose, because some bit of light does not reach certain areas. And so it is in capturing these shadows and dark areas and leaving the light spaces light that we actually get eventually a form that we identify as a face. Okay. So same way with statues, stone or marble or wrought iron or whatever the material be, when that figure or object is carved and you have something on it that you're trying to see, some shape on it you're trying to see, some form that you can identify, you will find light and dark parts, right? If it were a plain round rock, there would be a uniform lighting on it. But when that rock is cut in a shape, the shape starts to show shadows at certain places where the light does not reach. And capturing that will give you the shape that you are trying to get. Okay. So now, very, very simply, because we don't want to pressurize ourselves in the first attempt of a statue, we'll take these very, very simple guys. You can't go wrong. Okay. Everyone can sketch this very fast. So if you want to try this in pencil or in pencil color, I don't mind. I will actually try this in pencil. Okay. You can just take a normal pencil for this. I'm going to try. Let me just pick up a pencil. Yeah, mechanical pencil maybe. Maybe a normal pencil. Okay. Normal pencil is also there. Okay. This is also a rather irregular shape. So let's just capture basic shape. Okay. I'm going to draw a basic outline. Watch the shape, and roughly you can, with your pencil itself, mark out the parts that you want to definitely eventually color in or shade in. This guy's got a mouth. Okay, now I'm even drawing the shadow here. He's got a shadow that sticks out like this till here. And when I draw the shadow, it helps me get the mouth at the right place, somewhere here. Okay. And I'm going to put 2 lines because there's a line under the mouth. And over here, there's a bit of a shadow again. And over here, there's some shadow for the eye. And then there's this little curve on top. Okay. Okay, I've got it too far. Maybe a little closer. Okay. Comes all the way till here. Now we put in the rest of the shape. His jaw could be a little longer, so that's where we have to correct. Okay. And finally, the top of the head. Now, somewhere at the back, you can see rock, and you can draw that in. And a shoulder or the body that's emerging from the bottom, and a shadow line here. Yeah. So this is done. We can do a similar shape over here at the back. Now, roughly, if you look at the picture here, this fellow at height is somewhere near the nose of the foreground statue. So let's just keep that in mind, somewhere here at this height. Okay. And distance wise, somewhere here is the base. So I'm just going to draw upward like this. He's slightly more erect than our, yeah, can you see? He's slightly more erect than this guy who was tilting. So let's try and get that. Okay. Now here he's got a head, and again the nose is standing out in the light. Okay. Here there's a little bit of shadow for the eye. Then there's this shadow for the nose that falls across all the way like this. Somewhere here is the mouth. Again, turned upward like this. And a little bit here. Yeah. So basic shapes are in. Now let's use our pencil to shade. Now you can shade in all these light portions, which are the colors of the rock itself. The rock is light over here, and then it becomes darker over that side. But this shade and this shade are actually both the shade of the rock. It has nothing to do with the shadow. Okay. So just remember that when you are shading in, this and this are actually the same material, just in a different shade. But here, what is under the nose, these dark portions, those have to be shaded in definitely deeper because they are shadows. So let's try and shade this in with a pencil. Now look at the shade of the rock, darker on this side, but the nose part, it starts dark, but it lightens a bit. So around the nose over here is a little bit more darkness because then we can see the shape of the nose, just a little bit. I know this line over here is not necessary because it's a correction I've made. So I'm just going to leave it in there. Okay. I'm not erasing it. Let it be there. Over here, I become a little lighter. So I'm going to just very lightly cover this part. Just very lightly. I don't want to do much there. Okay. Shade this in. Very lightly over here because the rock itself is quite light. Over here, you have again some shade. So there's very little I'm leaving paper white. I'm not going to leave much paper white because in this case, we are not doing marble. If it was marble, we could still consider leaving some white of the paper as is. But we're not going to do that because this is stone. And stone is, you want stone, in general, the lightest bit of stone is not white. So we're going to maintain that. Now here I'm putting in a little darkness on the left side. And that same darkness I will extend on this side of my statue. See, around the nose. Okay. Now, I was saying this in the Saturday class, and I will say it now too. It is when we add the darker shades, especially the darkest shades, that we start to realize that certain shades that we put earlier were not dark enough, or were too probably needed. Usually what we feel is it needed to be darker. Okay, so let's now start putting in the darkest shade, which is right here. See, side of the nose. Don't press too much, just go back and forth a few times. Okay, then comes some dark shade over here. Again, when you're darkening a portion, don't darken it in its darkest hue immediately, like upfront, press down and get your dark shade. No, go over it several times. Go over it several times. You will finally get the dark shade you want. And at the same time, you can make some corrections as you go. So for example, here, I want to give that nose its peculiar shape. See, got a peculiar shape here. Turns here. Yeah. So I'd like to maintain that shape. And this dark is going to help me do that. Okay, so be very careful when you're going in with the dark. There. So I've got this basic outline where the dark meets the light. I've got it in. Now I'm going to also make sure that the outline continues above. The outline above is also maintained. Okay. So let's take this portion. There's a line here. Let's maintain the line till this point. Okay. And that's it. Color in. If you need to go darker, don't worry. We can do that later also. Now here I'm noticing here a little bit of correction. I have a little bit of stone sticking out. So leave that in. Make sure that that's captured. Now the outline of my stone here, there is some little darker shade here because the stone has discolored. Put all these little details. Don't hesitate to put them in. It's pencil after all. Nothing's going to go wrong. Now I can go a little deeper with this shade here. Now here, under the nose, we come to a part where we want to definitely put in some darkness. So here, see where the nose ends over here, where the shadow ends over here, there is a separation where little part where the nose doesn't have any shadow. And then the shadow starts again, resumes again from here, going down like this. Okay. Over here, it's going to maintain a line along this part. And that's it. So mark these clearly so that you don't cross them when you're darkening. I'm going to darken this portion now because I've marked out where exactly my shadow starts. Again, gentle darkening. So when you gently darken, you can add the kind of detail that otherwise, you may miss out. Like for example, speckles in the stone, all these kind of things you can actually almost incorporate it at certain points because you are darkening very gradually. Okay. Now here, now that we've reached this point, there is a stone behind the head, which is quite dark. Bring that out like this. Yeah. Now for the mouth. Go over this line that we've already drawn, but gently. when we darken too hard, it becomes very stark. Graphite gets deposited too dark. So better than that is to go over the line a few times and you will still get a darker shade. Then below the mouth, you have one more line, right, which we had drawn earlier. Now this one I drew a little too thick, but I'm noticing now that it is thinner than I drew it. The white line is thinner. So I'm going to thin it down a bit. Slight shadow, very slight. And thereafter, there is a line from here. See shadow here, going down. And same thing happens here. At the edge of the lip, the darkness comes back and you can fill in the shadow. Yeah? So observe your picture very clearly. Yep. As I color, I will start to notice that these portions are definitely dark. See, it was not dark enough when I had first put in color. So go in again with your pencil, layer another round, and this way we can get the stone to look unevenly colored. See? Now, don't worry too much about bottom, um, the bottom of the chin, of the face, the chin part, because you're going to darken what is under the chin. Okay, for the chin to stand out, you're not going to draw the chin line as much as you are this line. You're not going to draw this line as much as you are going to darken below the line. It is by darkening below the line that this chin line starts to get seen. Okay, so keep that in mind, because when we realize that we have to actually darken to highlight something else, we will not draw these borders very harsh, in harsh lines. So for example, if I were to draw a line over here, the line would be very clearly straight, probably less jagged than it should be. But when I start darkening under the chin, like this, with my pencil, I'm not going to get as even a line as if I were to draw the line in pencil itself, right? So try and get the chin line with your pencil, but only by darkening what is below the chin. See what I mean? And when you start doing this, your chin line will look a little more organic, because it's evident, right? We can't get it so straight when we are doing it this way. It's like negative painting, right? For something to stand out, you are you are darkening something else. And so once we darken it, the chin is evident. And the chin is organically a little not so straight. Now, even in this dark shade, mind you will notice the darkness is even darker on the darker still on the right side. So keep that in mind and go over the right a little bit more, just a little bit more. When you go over it a little bit more, you will get the shade of dark of this shadow a little deeper than on the other side. So see this side, a little deeper than on the left. Okay. Meanwhile, we are going into put in some shades of stone that are dark. I definitely want the stone to look, the texture of the stone and all that to come. So go back in, put some dark where you see the dark. Okay, over here, for example, quite it is very evident. Here there's a little bit behind the ear, which is protruding from behind. This part is also a little bit on the darker side. Now when I darken it, what is happening is, now see, the nose could have been darker, right? I've made the nose too light, far too light. So let me go in with another layer. Now a little bit over here, darkening. Why? Because the nose is spherical. I told you about spherical objects. When we when we shade spherical objects or cylindrical objects, remember that the edges turning away from the eye have to be a wee bit darker for that spherical or that, what do you call it, the curve to start to appear. So for example, here, slightly bit darker so that it looks like, yes, that piece is turning inward. Same way here, slightly, wee bit darker. And the top, which is absolutely in front, is going to be lighter. Now, as I put in these these shades, my shadow starts to look, oh, okay, not so dark. It was looking dark earlier, but now I need to go in a little more, put in a little bit of more shadow. Here, now see, it's actually, we've captured a lot of the shadow quite well. Now, I am starting to feel this portion is too light. So very gently adding in some pencil lines, pencil marks, and that's it. Lighten it just a wee bit. Sorry, darken it just a wee bit. Same thing here. My dark could have been a little darker. So let me go back in, make it a wee bit darker. See, right here, no, the darkness is quite evident. Have a look at the picture. The darkness is quite evident at this point. It may be because the stone is sticking out even more, and so the shadow is deeper there. Okay, so go in with a pencil, get that deeper shadow in, then put in all your shades here on top, and this Easter Island statue is done. Yeah, how's it looking? How's this guy looking? Not bad? Yeah, let's see. Janita. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Very nice. So this way, so you get the gist. It is very similar to what we did last week with what was that pencil shading? We did something in pencil, no? I forgot.
Just give me 1
Pear.
minute. I'm in
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
pen.
then.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, no, no problem. So you know what these are called? Easter Island statues are called Moai. I did not know this.
How do you spell it?
Moai. Moai. It's just called Moai. Just trying to see what else. That's it. Moai statues on East Island. Polynesian, I'm given to believe. But very interesting structures. Sorry, my paper is wonky. It's looking wonky on the screen. Or did I write it wrong? Maybe I wrote it wrong. All right, fine. I should have written it out. Good thing I wrote it in pencil, not in pen. Sometimes these things, like on video, no, I'm not able to get all my proportions right. These are Polynesian figures. So based on this, you can easily do the other Moai statue as well. Very similar, maintain similar kind of pencil strokes to achieve this shadow effect. Okay, let's move on now to one of our other pictures. And we have, I was trying to move from easy to something more challenging. So we have, Okay. What am I left with now? Neck. We can stop right here and we'll just draw the neckline, which is something like this. Okay. Here I also want to just put in the eye a bit. Now watercolor. Okay. Looking at my picture here, I'm seeing a slightly yellowish tone to the statue. So I'm going to mix a very odd combination. I'm still, yeah, okay. So I'm going to mix a very odd combination. I'm going to mix something like yellow ochre and black. Okay. So let me just take this one. Yellow ochre and black, but in a
We do the
wash
background or we don't?
Sorry?
The background, do we color it or we just leave it?
No, we will color in the black background. So what we have to do is we are going to have to take yellow ochre first, put in a little black onto it. Okay, my black got too black. Okay. And with this, I'm going to put an outline here. Now, this is where we have to be a little careful because if we have any corrections to make. So for example, I want to make a slight correction here where the headgear stops and the ear begins. According to the picture, the headgear stops and the ear begins immediately. So I want to make sure that my ear is not that low. So slight correction there. Okay. Ear can be a little higher. In fact, it comes here at the nose. This is fine. This length. So somewhere here, I'll bring in the ear and that's it. See, minor corrections like this will happen. Now, for the surrounding space, no, just move this thing down. Take that same yellow ochre black combination. Bring the jawline in. You know, she's got a jawline that's a little pronounced. And the neck. And the shoulder. Yep, we got that in. Okay. Here, I'm going to stop at this point. With a wet brush, I'm just going to soften the edge. Soften the edge of my yellow ochre. Just soften it slightly and that's it. Leave it that way. Same color on the other side. But now I'm also going to get the headgear in place. Now, if you notice the picture, see, look at the top of the head. There's a slight like protrusion where this thing joins. Okay, like here. Just put that in. Don't forget to put that in. Because after you run over it, then it's very difficult to get back that shape. Yeah. And then go down this side. Slight correction. So watch the picture even when you're shading in the color. Watch the picture very carefully for any corrections you would like to make, because this is where you can do it. Or if you look at it this way, this is where you have the last chance to bring in a correction. If it's not done here, you're going to have to be okay with what you have already colored. Just remember that. Okay, here, jaw is like this. Okay, for that. I'm going back here only because I want to keep the watercolor still a bit damp. Okay. I'm getting worried that it's going to be gone in with water, so I'm just going to like soften the edge. Rinse off and you can just that's it. I didn't make enough paint. I should have made a little more paint. So now even this thing, the way the statue is slightly angular here. Just keep that in mind. It's widening as it towards the base. That's what I'm trying to say. It's widening to the base, so just keep that in mind. Soften the edge. You should be okay. If this part doesn't soften so much, it's okay. This is still the background. I'll just go lightly over here. I don't want to make this too dark. Let it be. Okay. Now we can go in with the shades we want for this. First of all, just observe the picture. See, here you will notice, again, we are talking about the same conical or spherical portions. So this part is turning, this part is turning. So we have to bring in some shade over here. Okay. Similarly for the face. At the edge of the face here and at the edge of the face here, you have darker shades. Excuse me. Then the chin. This is very, very important statues. For this chin to stand out, what you'll have to do is make sure that the color under it is correct and defines the space of the chin. So we are not going to draw the line of the chin as much as we are going to draw and paint in the color under the chin. Okay. So when you're putting that color in, it is as important as when we just now did the outline of the figure. Make sure that the color that you add gently is giving you the shape of that chin the way you want it. Okay. Now let me just see if I have dried. I don't think this is dried. So I'm not going to touch the chin yet. I'm going to go in with yellow ochre and brown and black, but in a wash consistency from this side. Let's start from any side actually. Okay, right or left. Get this line in. Okay, draw line here. Then wash off your brush. Tap it on a tissue and just lighten it as you go. Okay. So that's going to give you a slight curvy look. See on the right side. Same way, let's take the same wash consistency. Put it on the left side, leftmost side of the head. You can rinse off your brush Wipe it, and with a just a damp brush, let this blend. See, curve is got. Now we're going to do a similar thing for the face and for the chin and for all of it. Okay, we're going to take a wash consistency of yellow ochre and black. Maybe we'll wait for the chin. Let's do the eyes. This part. See? Here. And here. It's almost very, very evident because the eyelid itself is white. Correct? The eyelid itself is white. So this is going to look very stark to you right now. When I put it down, it looks like, oh my, too dark. What you should do now is wash off your brush, dry it, and just run your brush from the end over here such that you have just a little paint. You know what is happening? You are taking the paint off from here, and now your brush has a little paint, right? With that paint, you are giving it some shape, and you are naturally making this blend. See, brush was clean, but because now you've touched this dark bit, the brush has actually got some pigment, and it has got such a light pigment, you are getting the shadow you want. See, now side of the nose over here and side of the nose over here, both have got a very slight, gradual shade. See? So to blend it in, I've actually applied the dark portion first and then cleaned my brush and dragged out a little bit of the pigment from both sides to get the shade lighter on both sides. The blend is better this way. Again, now I'm using a fine brush. We are going to do a similar job with the nose. See, look at where we placed the base of the nose. At the base of the nose, there is nostrils over here which are dark. Okay. That same wash consistency. Just outline the base of the nose. The base of the nose is this way. Nostrils are deep. One small line. Okay. And at the side, you have a slight thing of the there. Even the tip of, under the tip of the nose, there's a little bit of darkness. It looks too stark. Don't worry. Wash off your brush. Dry it. And pick the paint off what you've already put. Blend it in. Under the nose. See? Once more, let's take something for the mouth. Now, the mouth is very tricky in the sense that in a normal mouth, when we want to paint lips, what we do is we end up drawing the lips both in the same shade. But both the lips are not in the same shade. It is the bottom lip that sees light. The top lip has a slight shadow because curving inward. Bottom lip is sticking out a bit more. Now, in this case, what is going to happen is your upper lip is slightly darker. Lower lip is nice and bright. But to get the shape of the lower lip, there has to be a small line shadow under the lower lip. See what I mean? So if you look at what I'm doing, I'm just taking a wash consistency with the tip of my brush. And I'm going to go in and put the color on the upper lip, on the line that we drew. And just put a shade for the upper lip. Okay? Shade for the upper lip. Then we come below the lower lip and draw only an outline of the bottom, from the bottom. Outline of the lower lip. See? So my lower lip is still very much paper white. I have not applied any paint on the lower lip. Okay, just a shadow under the lower lip. Extend the lip a little bit into what looks like a smile. Shape the top lip a little bit more because it's a little shapely if you look at it. Okay. And you can leave that there. The same concept we are going to now use for the eyes. Okay, observe the eyes. Where is the darkness? Where is the lightness? Now the eyelid, the top of the eye, the shape of the eye, that's where the darkness is. The eyelid is still very much white. Okay, so where we have made space for the eyelid, the top of the eye, let's put in the dark shade, the top of the eye. Okay, now here my shape has gone off a bit. I'm going to correct it. So top of the eye. Now wash off your brush and use the tip of your clean brush or damp brush to bring down the shade into the rest of the eye. We have filled out now the eye part, okay, the actual eye. And most statues will not have the iris, the iris clearly marked. But this statue, if you notice carefully, look carefully at it, it does have an iris. See? We'll put in the iris later. Right now, we've colored the whole eye a slight yellow color. We can't put the iris now because whatever color we put into the eye now will just blend. Okay. Now, under the eye, look carefully. We have to have a thin line to show the, what is this, where we put kajal, the base of the eye where we put a kajal. So to highlight that part of the eye, you have to put a small line under the eye, leaving that sliver of white. Okay. So fine brush and a shape here. This is where you can now join. Okay, done. Now that the background is dried, let's go into the side of the face. We are going to do with the side of the face exactly what we did with the side of the head. Take a wash consistency. Apply it from this portion here along the border of the face. See, put in the contours. You can see the contours, put that in. Okay. Once this is put, clean your brush, leave it damp. Sorry, dry it off a bit and blend. See? Blending is very important. I feel that this portion of the face is a little off for me, to me. Okay. Now this is where a few corrections can be made, but not right away. Don't worry about it right now. We go back in with the background and we make those corrections. So don't do it right now. We can correct it later. Let's do the same thing we did with one side to the other side of the face. Over here, look for the shadows. So this is why looking at your reference photo is like very important. Clean your brush and the reason we do this clean brush and then applying and then pulling the color is making sure that we do not have any stark lines. To make sure that we don't have any stark lines and the blending is good. Now we've got this contour of the face on the side, but we haven't got these contours. There are some more contours. Now very, very light wash, super light wash. Take a little bit of paint and mark the cheeks. Okay, cheeks are coming at this point. There's a little darkness here. I see some darkness. Put all these little things in. It may look patchy to you right now. Don't worry. We're going to fix that right away. Dry your brush immediately and blend. The moment you blend, this harshness that you are seeing will go away. And the contours that you want will come. See? I also see some little contour here, which I was not able to bring out earlier. So I will do the same thing, what I just now did. I see darkness here. I see a little darkness here. Clean my brush and blend. See? Almost all of the thing of the what do you call it? The face is going to be done this way. So now I'm going to do the ear. This portion is dark. Same way over here, this portion is the darkest. Okay. Put my darkest in and then clean my brush. With the damp clean brush, drag down the color so that it blends. See, no sharp edges. Take a little bit of a darker hue here because you want to show contours and shapes. Okay. Over here, slight darkness. Same way over here, one slight darkness. That's it. It's suggestive of the curves in the ear, and that's it. We're not doing any more than that. Now take a wash consistency, very, very lighter, super light. And we are going to use this line, this wash consistency with the tip of your brush, just the tip of your brush, to get all these details on the head. Just the tip. Now, because there's not going to be too much blending, now here, if you can't blend much, okay? So make sure that the wash consistency is very light. If you want to test it, just test it once or twice here the side. Okay? Quite light. And then look at your picture. This part of the head has got a line only on the left side. Then comes the base. And then, sorry. The same paint is going to come here. Sorry, shaking too much. Same paint is going to come on this side of the curve where it joins. Okay. Then there is a curve on the inner part. See, inner part has got a shadow. Same way over here, inner part has got a shadow and stops. Now over here, pay attention. Our line goes up here, invisible line. We're not going to see it. But when it reaches this portion, we have a shadow to indicate the curve of the bow over here. See? This is the subtlety of shadow. We have not drawn lines. We have not drawn the thick line, double line, nothing. We've just indicated that the shape is there because one shadow on top, one shadow at the bottom, bas, okay. Is it, are you able to get it, Janita? This, yeah, good. I'm going to proceed, but basically it's the same concept. Again, here I'm looking at the picture and I see a slight line over here at the base, and the same thing goes on this side. On top, I see the same thing, a line here, the same thing goes on the other side. Okay. In fact, there are two lines. I'm noticing two lines. So I'm going to put a thin second line. Okay. Then I notice a line over here. So mind you, this is another observation I'm now making. The line is curving rather steep on these sides. Okay, rather steep, as if to suggest that it is a rectangular block more than it is a conical, sorry, a cylindrical object. So just observe that. See, like a thin line over here suggesting that only on one side, in fact, not even both, just one side. So maybe it is not spherical or cylindrical. Same way, I have a very sharp turn here.
How do you keep
And
your hands steady when you're making those lines? Mine are wobbling.
are you resting your whole arm on the paper? I mean, like the base of your hand, this part of your hand. Are you resting it fully on the
No,
paper?
it was not. Now it is.
So it definitely needs to fully rest. Huh? Yeah. For finger movement to be accurate, it needs to fully rest. And you can hold your brush closer than you normally hold it otherwise. Two ways to get. Okay, going in with this color, second color. I'm noticing a second line. So this is very, very tricky. Like my brush is not very thin. Huh? It's like a size 2 and I don't have 0, which is fine. So I'm going to just be very careful how I apply the thing. Bas, ho gaya. Not going into detail. On this side, do you notice that there are a few lines, just a few lines indicating some kind of a design? Put that in. It adds value when you look at the picture eventually. See, now here I'm seeing a little line over here. Just a hint of a design. That's it. Not the whole design. I'm not putting squares and rectangles. Just a hint. Yeah. Okay, I think the headpiece is okay. What we need to now target is the neck and also that iris. Ah, yes, the iris we were talking about. See, look at the iris. It's just a hint. Huh? So a small hint of a iris here and one over here. See, just a hint. This part is still dark, very much dark. Just a hint. And why that hint is this thing is because the rest of the eye is actually around it, no, next to it. That curve is little dark. Okay. Now I can personally, I feel like the nose part could have been a little darker. So if you look at my picture, look at the picture. Okay. The nose is evidently darker than I have drawn it. These corrections, you will have to, going darker is easier. Okay. You can always go in again and again, make it darker and darker. So I'm seeing this in need of correction. There's a slight darkness here too. Try my brush. Oops. Sorry. Not used to this camera being so close to my brush. Yeah. Another way to highlight the mouth, by the way, is to put a slightly dark line after everything is dried, just on the separation. Just on the separation and one under here. That's it. Put a little bit of detail at the nostril. That's it. Even here, I can put a little bit of darkness. The shape of the eye becomes better. Ear. See, when you go into the little darkness, you see that, oh, I can put it here also, I can put it there also. In fact, I can even put it here. I find it here definitely darker. It's at this point that we very often get caught up in the detail. Too much detail. We have to get onto the neck. Now, neck consistency. Neck consistency is going to be a little deeper than a wash. But if you are uncertain, keep it at wash and draw in the jawline. Okay, this is you have to be very careful. Leave extra space if you feel that you've not got the jawline right. Okay, leave extra space. See, like for here, I think I can make it little bit more shapely. So go back in a second time and shape the jaw a little more. Just a wee bit. Yeah, that's enough. Okay. And then what I do is I bring this V part of the neck. See, there's a slight V. There is also a darkness on this side. I put that in. Then my old strategy. Wash off your brush, clean it, and drag the paint. Drag the paint to blend. Blend it all the way up to the neckline. See? If you feel anything is harsh, like I see over here, go in with that damp brush one more time and darken it. So I feel I've got the darkness okay, but I could be a wee bit darker here. Now, while it is wet, if I put in a little bit more paint here, see, it will blend properly. Jaw is looking a little off, a little bit. It's definitely a highlight here and a V here. So I'm going to blend. Damp brush and blend. That's it. Now the rest of it is going to be wash consistency, not light, dark, very light. I'm going to do some shade over here. There is definitely some wash here. There is some dark portion here. Okay. But these are all very subtle. That is why I'm keeping it at wash only. You just want to see some slight shading. Yeah, here you definitely, there's no white. Just look for the white, okay? Look for the white. So I'm seeing the most white on this side and a little bit of white on this side, and that's it. I'm not seeing anything more. Let this dry. While this dries, you can make the consistency a bit thicker. Take your finest brush and start adding detail. Now think of the detailer. We are underlining the neck piece, whatever's on the neck. We want to draw a line once, then a second line, then a third line, and then we have these vertical or lines that are radiating outward. So those are all the things we want to capture. So you know what? I'll search for my number one brush because I don't want to do this with so much. Yeah, 0, 0. Got my 0. Hopefully it's dried by now. Size 0 will give me, rest your hand and take this one in. Okay. Then bring in a second one. how this corner looks like. Now here I'm under this thing, I'm going to create a slight outline. And finally, my radiating lines, which are going, okay, start from the center, best. Start from the center. You'll get the radiation better, or the radiating feel better. Yeah. And one last detail, we have some triangular portions over here. I'm just trying to see how to capture it. Just capture the triangle on top. Okay, too dark. Too dark. Anything is too dark, take a, if you don't want to hurry, just take this thing and dab it. Tissue and dab it. It'll instantly go, especially if it's a non-staining pigment like yellow ochre. Just pick it up with the yeah. All right, what are we missing? Now look at the picture one last time. Maybe with that wash, I'm not happy with this part. I definitely wanted to see this deep color here. See, it marks the neck. And I wanted to see the deep color here, which I did not get, right? So I'm going to go back in here. And fade it. It gets messed up sometimes more than it should, but don't worry too much about it. Now, one last correction. One last correction is to my jawline. You may not have this issue. It's for me. Mostly because I don't like this jawline. Okay. So for a statue like this, where we have put a background, you have one last chance to make some corrections. And that's here. The ear ends over here and the jawline begins here. See, it wasn't straight. And so I'm going to go in with a deep color and fix it as best as I can. See, better? Same thing with the other side. I think I'm not happy with the jawline at all. So this can be done. And after this is done, our old method of fading it out. So yes, definitely my background is a little messed up, but my shape of the jaw is a little better than before, at least for me. That's what I feel. All right. So there we have Nefertiti. Not too bad, but not so great either. But add whatever detail you want to at this point. Don't hesitate. Whatever detail makes all the difference. There. And I'm going to stop and I'm going to enable this. Nefertiti. All right. Now, because we have some time, let's attempt you have any choice, Janita? Would you prefer the Statue of Liberty or would you prefer this fellow, the thinking man?
Either way, any both are good.
So Statue of Liberty, I'll tell you what. Statue of Liberty is also looking like we can do it. It's a slightly bluish green color statue. So we could, to keep true to that, we could make it a greenish kind of statue. Or if we are doing this guy is looking like maybe he's not stone. I originally thought this is an edited image, right? So so we are looking at a statue which is against a white background. So this is going to be very similar to our dum-dums that we did just now, where we have to add more color and then deeper shades of that color to give the darkness that we want. But this is going to be a little more work. I think Statue of Liberty will be faster to do because of the shape. Whichever way, come, we give it a try. And if you have a preference, also another thing is this is a complete bust. I mean, a complete, statue. Whereas Liberty, I only got this part. So, maybe we'll do Liberty. Come, familiar to all. This time, I'm going to challenge you to not draw a sketch. Don't sketch. We will only directly paint in watercolor. Okay? And the best way to do something like this is by taking the lightest shade of whatever color you have decided to go for with the statue. Lightest shade. And drawing your entire outline like how Aditi makes us do pencil sketching, right? Let the shape be off. It's okay. If the shape is off, it's off. But drawing the shape and the outline the way you see it as light as possible. And then as you add the darker shades, we'll correct that shape as it goes. Okay. So this is going to be like a brave attempt of getting all our proportions right without drawing a pencil outline. Let's try. So I'm going to make a shade which is greenish. So it's not sap green to me. I don't know. What do you see? What color do you see? It's looking more like that bluish green.
Yeah, light bluish green.
No? So maybe
Bluish
I'm thinking we can try that emerald. Is it emerald? The green that Aditi doesn't like. I think it's emerald.
I think we can use that aqua green 009 in the 48 shade.
Oh, 48 shade has it? Okay, I don't have it. I have this. I don't know what this is called. Again and again, I forget. It's emerald only. Viridin. No, not emerald. Not viridin. Viridin, no?
Viridian is a hookers and sap. Which one?
No. Not viridin. Viridin is one that's bluish, no? Slightly. Let me just see. Hold on.
Viridian is the dark green.
Yeah, it's a dark green, but it has a bluish tinge. Let me just. Let's see.
This is the one.
Yeah.
it visible?
Yeah. You can see. Okay. Got it. So we have that one shade and we have
Which brush
emerald.
are you using to sketch number?
I'm using a 0 now because I'm using it like a pencil.
Okay.
Okay. So what I've decided, no, my this blue, no, which is what is this emerald blue, emerald green is too blue for me,
Okay.
and my viridian green is too green. So I'm going to mix these two,
Okay.
and I think I'm fine with this color. This color seems. Let me just draw a spot. Yeah, this is good enough. So I'll just mix emerald and viridian for myself. If your this green is good, then use your green directly if you want, but in a wash consistency. Okay. And let's keep that picture right on the table. If you have space on your book, keep it at the side of your book. That's like the best way to sketch. You're looking at the picture and you are just sketching in the space next to it. Okay. So let me go in with this light color. This. I need to have a hand. This is the fire. Okay, let me not get too ahead of myself. Head over here. You may not see much of a line, but I'm definitely making some lines. Okay, I'm gonna put something here, going around, parting of the hair, and the face I want to make roughly this big. Yeah, this is it. Okay, that's the face. Then the neck. And she's got some neck over here, the back of the neck, some hair. So I'm using this exactly like I would use a pencil. Don't worry. Don't worry if it is going to get corrected later, that's fine. Now, in terms of the spikes on the head, the star on the head, here, I'm going to just put in the shades. So I have an idea. One starts here, one starts here, one goes this way. Just to give me a general idea. This way, and one very close. Okay. So somewhere like that. And so that gives me the placement for the hand. The hand seems to be going up. Okay, let's do from the neck. From the neck over here, I move slightly angular and then upward. But also I have a hand coming down from here. So don't worry, huh? Don't worry if the shape is, not looking great. We'll fix. We'll fix as we go. So here, somewhere here, there's a lot of okay. And hand goes up. It goes here and then it. So that's the torch. Fingers are here. Then the rest of the hand comes down here. And over here, somewhere near the eye, over here. Yeah. This is where the clothing comes, of the arm. Okay. And then here. Now I'm getting more bold with the lines because all of this, it will hide at some point. The darker shades will hide it. So don't worry. So where the neck ends, this is the neckline. Then there's this horizontal thing. No, sideways thing, not horizontal. This bulb over here. It's very loose, huh, what I'm doing. But it's just to get the proportions there. Okay. Now the top of my torch, we can get that right. It will be great. So the hand, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fingers are like this. And the thumb is here. Okay, so I've exceeded my color over here. That's fine, no problem. Then my torch comes up from here. Even here, the torch, by the way, the detail of the torch, like for example, the curves over here, we have not added any of that. We'll put that in later. Roughly proportions are there, that's it. Okay, now the torch comes up, it widens. And then we have this portion, this widest nice base. This portion like this. Then this vertical portion. Okay, I've become a little dark now. Should not make it so dark. And finally, the fire. Now, even though the fire here is marked in another color and all that, I'm going to continue with the green, okay? Because I don't want to, I want this to be in one shade. I don't want to change the shade too much. Okay, how's it looking for you, Janita? I've got like this much of a sketch. My rough sketch is looking, you know what, my camera is tilted. Should be straight.
This is what I was able to do.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, yes. Okay, not bad. So you got your shape quite all right. Shape is okay. Somewhat, are you finding any disproportion? Now look at your picture and look at any disproportionate things. You definitely want to change something. Now's the time to look at it. Okay. Like for example, in my face, I feel that my face ka proportion is thoda off and my neck is looking like a little too broad. Okay. Keep that in mind because now I'm also noticing that neck ke wahan pe there is a big shadow. You notice the shadow? I'll just uh, put this. So keep all these things in mind because
Reddish face also. It's not
huh?
round. The face shape is
Yeah,
little.
very angular face. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is, see this all the shadow here. This could be the reason why I am feeling my neck is so broad, but this neck is not that broad. That is because probably of this darkness here. So I have to keep all these things in mind. Should I correct my neck now or should I just wait for that darker portion to come? And maybe once I put that dark shade, the neck will correct itself. Keep all those things in mind, okay? Now here I'm looking at the arm. I'm doing comparative analysis. Huh? I'm just trying to see. The face is this thick and the arm is actually a little thin. I have made it a little thin. The correction from my end would be to make it slightly bit thicker. But not required. We are doing kind of a rough sketch, on the go sketch. We don't have the time for too much of correction. If we feel we can correct it, well and good. See here, I feel the arm could have been broader and going in a little broader. This is what I feel. Okay, that's what I feel. And all right. Now, another 10 minutes and we have to stop. So what all information should we put in? Okay. The information we have to put in first is the dark portions that will highlight the face. Okay. I'm going to mix my color a little deeper than the wash now. Okay. Keep some of it ready. This is the biggest problem for me, keeping color ready. I never ever have enough color. And now let's add in With your fine brush, let's add in some of the important details. So here is one. I want to get the hairline in. Okay, this hairline definitely needs to be in so that I can determine the rest of the face. This would allow me to put the eyebrow in. See at the eyebrow part? Darkness right here. The whole eye part is dark. And here will be where your other eye comes into the picture. Also dark. This leads to the nose, which comes here and is a mass of lots of darkness. Let's put that in. Lighten your brush, wash your brush a bit. And let's drag the paint down from the, oops. Yeah. Let's drag the paint down from this portion. If it is still wet. If it's not wet, wet your brush. See? So we are bringing in something here. Now the mouth is like super important. We have to get this mouth. It's a sulky mouth. So let's see. Again, we are drawing the top lip. Janita, we are drawing only the top lip. The shape of the top lip. And the shadow of the bottom lip. Yeah. Now this gives us some idea of the face ka. Sorry, I have kids at home that are really making a ruckus.
Can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't? Okay, good. That's their father is losing it. And don't worry, Lady Liberty is not going to be upset if you don't get her resemblance right. This is one thing that we get very upset about. Anybody looking at this is going to say Statue of Liberty, nothing else. So add all these little things. See, the highlight of her hair, the outline of her hair will start to automatically come when you put in these shapes. And then they disappear into some little stuff over here and it disappears. That's it. Then all this becomes quite dark. So here we have the jawline, which is kind of disappeared under some darkness. And here's the neckline that was bothering me so much. Okay, so I'm adding one shade of dark over here just to see whether that thins down my neck. Not bad. Okay. How's yours coming along, Janita? Is it looking okay or?
The angle of the face, I think, is little more downward in mine. It should be more upward. Facing. Yeah, that angle was not right.
Okay.
I don't
Now
think
that you're putting it in, you're feeling it?
Yeah.
You're feeling the angle is downward? Let's see your how it looks. Let me just see. Let me see if I can see it too. Sometimes we cannot. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Got it. So what happened? Okay, if you analyze this, just leave it. Just bring it to the front. I'm trying to see how we can see the. I'll tell you what. Here, what you've done is you put both the eyes at the same level. Okay, and in your picture, your one eye, that is the left eye, has got only this much part of the head, whereas the right eye has got the bulk of this space. That's where this thing has gone slightly off. You have given them equal spacing, which means her head has tilted little more facing you. That's what's happened. Understood? Not to worry, this is not like the but analyzing it will allow you in the future when you are drawing proportionately to realize that, okay, yahan pe, if you look at my picture here, remember that the nose is coming, nose ka shadow is coming in the center. Nose is not coming in the center. The shadow of the nose here is coming in the center. 1 minute, I'll just show you the, just spotlight mine. I'll show you. See, look at the face. This is your shape of your face. The shadow of the nose is coming in the center. So that means the nose is off center. And so if the nose is off center, the left eye is got even less space on the face. Okay. And that's it. That's a small correction. Now, in your case, don't worry too much. If you go online, you will go and find a Statue of Liberty taken from another angle. And there you may find the face looking more at you, or to the angle of the photo taken in such a way that you can see the face the way you've drawn it. And so it's perfectly fine. Okay, don't worry about that. Let's try and get in other features. Now I've made my neck too long, far too long. It only needed, her neck is actually only this much. And the clothes are all coming here. So I'm going to make a correction. Okay, she's got some stuff sticking out here, which I did not pay attention to. Totally forgot. And here, the hand comes here. Small dip in the neck. Okay, now this is where corrections, when you want to make, no, go ahead and make them. Don't feel bad, like, oh, array, whatever happens, happens. Okay, there, and it flattens out, see? So now my neck has become thinner. Now here I see a vertical line, one more vertical line. And somewhere here there's a neckline. Yeah. So I'm going over whatever existing line I put, it's okay. No big deal. Oh, too dark. Too dark. Okay. That's it. You just want a few strokes that will give you the sense of. Now here definitely there is some darkness. Put that in. And the jawline is definitely quite dark here. Now I'm going to go on with the rest of my clothing here. I have some lines. I wanted the hand to be a little broad. Oops, sorry. All the time it knocks into this. Now this part of the hand, no, Janita, if you notice, shape of the hand here, and then it comes down. Okay. This part broadens and then comes this. Now this part, you have to add that darkness you're seeing. See, there's a very, very clear shadow on the inner part. Wet your brush and do the same blending exercise. Okay. Bring this kind of information to the forefront, because this will give you the impression that you want. Now here there's a line. Here there's a same way here, where the torch is touching the hand. Okay, where it's touching the hand on the inner part, there is a lot of shadow. In fact, the shadow of the torch itself is quite vivid in our picture. See? This way. Almost this way. Hand has become a little off now for me. I have to lower the thumb. Fingers are okay. So now we are treating your brush almost like a pencil. Huh? We're like literally adding in all these details very loosely. There's a clear circle here. And some shape that I'm going to make on top. Okay. It's a very tentative shape. Huh? I'm not going into detail. There's some.
Could you
I'm not
move
going
it
into
little down the paper? That part is
Sorry?
not visible. Could you move your paper a bit down? The
Sure,
book
sure, sure.
down.
Yeah, the top,
Right.
no? This is the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this part I'm really not spending too much time on because it's, I mean, while it is there, we know what it is and it's not adding to the statue. So I'm just going to add a few dark shades, bus, and ho gaya, call it an end. Because I still want to spend a little bit more time on the statue itself. So there is a stand here. Quite frankly, don't want to overdo it. So just some dashes indicative of the, again, looking just for the dark portions. I'm just looking for the dark portions. Okay, dark is done. Come down further. There is a little bit of darkness here. Okay. And a shape over here that suggests that this is, yeah, that's it. Leave it at that. Now, once this part comes in down here, the thumb is very evident. The base of the thumb, the inner part of the hand, fingers, that's it. So you see, I'm going with the dark details, but I'm not going to spend more than this much time. That's it. I'm going to go down. Further down, get in some lines here. Get my dark shades here. Here there are some, definitely some. So wherever you feel that the dark shades are a little thick, press down your brush and get in that space without putting too many more lines. Okay. Now the underside of her shirt here has got whatever she's wearing. It's got some deep color here. And then it turns. These shadows, no, these folds in the cloth, don't think too much about it. Don't overdo it in terms of, oh, is it more V-shaped? Is it more? No, just get the idea across. In loose painting, that's one thing you have to keep in mind. It's the idea of things. So here also, idea. Okay, there is a fold somewhere there, and you've got the fold. No one's going to compare it to the actual statue. I've got some dark folds here. I bring that in. This whole portion is a little dark. That's it. Now here I definitely have some dark portions. See, over here, where the there, right? And that brings me to the neck portion where I can see some darkness here. Looking extra dark. So let me lighten it. And there is some headpiece that is coming quite low. Quite low, and this is coming high. I got some pink on my Nefertiti. Sorry, this one. Give me one. Sorry, green on Nefertiti. Yeah. So where were we? Here. Some darkness here. And over here. So now this particular, what do you call it? Like the star shape on the head is very, very dark. Okay. Highlight that. And then this one also is on the darker side. So paint that second so that the paint in your brush is slightly lighter already. You see me putting a thin line above? I don't know if you can see it. I put a very thin line on top. See? That small thin line, no, will make the spike look a little dimensional, like it's got thickness. Others, it looks just like the shadow, right? I mean, we will not realize that it is. So just keep those kind of small details in mind. Okay, here, another one. Okay, and then one over here. And then as the head turns, we are going to see the spike getting a little longer and the shadow of the spike coming onto the there. A double layer over here. Now again, when we go to the side, remember we have to put a slight thickness on one end and this one. Okay, this portion is definitely quite dark. As usual, I've run out of paint. Okay, so I'm putting in darker strokes here. I'm telling you, those darker strokes make so much of a difference, no? See? And here it becomes really dark. Now here the shadow is there all the way down here. In fact, there is a very sharp shadow, like a cast shadow over here, which the face is casting onto the body. See? It may worry you to add it, but when you add it, look at the difference. See, initially I was very hesitant to add that bit, but once you put it in, you suddenly can see, oh yeah, right. It does give the effect. I will just lighten a bit and put in all these little lines to suggest cloth, the folds of cloth. And there is a little bit over here. And that's it. I'm going to put in color here. This part will have some. I'm going to stop right here so that I don't push myself to add too much more detail. I'm already feeling the need to, okay, put this also, put that also. That's it. I'm going to stop. But with this much alone, we've got the gist of the statue. How's yours? 1 minute, 1 minute. Not bad, not bad at all. So I'm telling you, Janita, you've got most of it. I'll tell you one more thing. Look at the picture, your reference photo, and look at your star on the head. Does the reference photo curve for you the star? Does the individual stars, star on the head start curving?
Straight,
no, but you've curved
straight.
it.
Yeah.
But you curved it. Okay. So, no, this is nothing's wrong with it. It's just observation for you next time.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the picture, the star is curving. I know exactly what your mind has told you. Your mind has told you that the star is curving because it's going around the head. But it is not the spikes that are curving. Spikes
Straight.
are absolutely straight from the curve point where it goes out from.
Right.
So it is the head that has curved and the spike sticks out from whatever angle 90 degrees. So that is a slight thing that you could have probably watched out for. Okay, that vertical line. But other than that, your hand has come out well. Even the body proportion is all right. Face, like you said, is turning downward slightly. But in the overall gist of things, you will not be able to tell that. See, because now you're looking at your reference photo and looking at this and saying, yes, okay, the face is looking a little downward. But if anyone else looks at another reference photo where the face is full on this way, you're perfectly fine, right? So good. You've got quite a bit of it. All right. But see, the very big thing here is, Janita, you've done the whole thing without a pencil. See, it can be done. That's the feat. Now, Nefertiti will look better, obviously, because we did a pencil outline. We allowed ourselves some kind of a structure before we went in with paint. Now, here we were directly going in. It's easy. It's actually not difficult. You just have to do it several times. I'm telling you, yesterday I sat and did a few statues and I was like, I told you, I have this problem where I can't stop. Once I start adding details, I tell myself
the opposite, I have to start.
I just can't stop. Like I tell myself fast, and then after the 10-minute timer has gone, then I'll spend another 15 minutes at least adding all the beautiful details. Are what is the point? See, this was my 10-minute sketch, okay? Got it very nice. It was all great. But her face is all wonky, all totally wonky. She's a very pretty little angel, but I got nothing, none of the details in. None of the details. Okay? All that you can see is thoda aankh hai, nose is there, eyes there, face, hand is sitting like this. Okay, chalo. But in 10 minutes, I got that. Here, I got this in 10 minutes. Then I spent 25 minutes more adding all this stuff on her face. So, when you add that in, you will definitely get a better face as compared to look at our genius here. So, you will get the detail, but at the same time, with the 10 minutes also, you got your gist. You've got what do you, this is an angel sitting over there in a certain pose, and you've got the basic details. So, adding more and more time will refine the detail, but your general thing has come, and that's good enough. That's what you want to try and get. Yeah. So attempt
Which
if
color
you
did
can.
you use for the angel? It's looking very nice.
Angel, I used burnt umber in wash consistency.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, burnt umber. This
Colors
is burnt
are so
umber.
nice.
And then this one was ultramarine,
Brilliant.
only ultramarine.
Oh, ultramarine. Okay.
Yeah, ultramarine blue. I just simply played around with. I did this time. I mean, both I did without any pencil. I was directly going with brush. But this one, I spent a lot of time eventually shaping the face, getting her
The
thinner.
detailing is there in the hair and everything.
Yeah, all those details, all that you can go on and on and on and on, enjoying yourself. So that's what I'm saying. You can do this and you will enjoy. But this is also acceptable, perfectly acceptable, especially if you want to do it in situ, you want to finish and you don't want to carry it forward. This is an excellent way to
Yeah.
get that. Yeah. Anyway, I hope this has been fun because I've been wanting to do statues for a while now.
This
I
is very
really,
nice. Something totally
it's fun.
different.
Yeah, no, it's fun, no? So that's why I thought like, if we
We
do
can use it
monochrome.
whenever we do travel sketches, we go
Exactly,
places.
exactly. You can do this very easily, and it's fun. And unlike portraiture where we have to get more details, in statue it's just shadows. Get the shadows in, bas ho gaya. Your details are in place. Whereas with portraits and all, we have to get skin color, all that in place, no? So this is why I said we'll do statue after monochrome. Since we've understood the concept of monochrome, applying now to statue is easy. So I think it's just you and I by the end of this class. But do post your page and then we'll probably next week do something different. I'm done with monochromes, cut two sessions of doing only one color. Let's add some fun colors. Have you tried loose florals?
Loose florals. Oh, I'd
Like
love to do that. It'll be fun.
that'll be fun, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I love doing loose florals. In fact, most of the florals I do are loose. I have seldom do very detailed florals. So we could consider doing some loose florals and seeing how we could use them, for borders, to make borders, nice borders, to make something, like composition.
Tags.
Tags, lots of
Yeah.
things. Once you can do a few flowers,
Mhm.
and just make them very loose. They don't have to resemble the original flower you looked at. You simply want
Yeah,
your
that will
color
look
and
good.
general shape from there. Uske baad you do what you want to do. That is loose. That's
Leaves
loose
and
flowers.
flowers like together.
Ha.
Be nice.
What is that? You said
Leaves and flowers. Like
leaves and flowers. Correct, correct. So let's do that. Let's do some loose florals for a change. Yeah. Next time we'll try and do some loose florals. Okay. All right.
you.
Chalo, Janita.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
You.
See you.